Everyone, hi. Welcome to today's webinar. Let me just check that everything's working. Give me a moment. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, seems like everything is working. Hi, everyone. Okay, we're gonna do a live analysis session today, which is the 6th of January. Yeah, it is. So I'm on the right one. Let me see. Yeah, so hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar brought to you by IC Markets Global. We are doing a live analysis session. What that means is I am going to go on the charts. I am going to show you guys how I usually do my analysis. It's not what you guys should be doing, but yeah, it's definitely how I would do my analysis on a daily basis. Okay, so please do not copy me fully. This is purely for you guys to see from a different trader's point of view. Okay, disclaimer. Let's start with a disclaimer. Today's webinar should only be construed as educational. It should not be construed as any form of financial advice, any form of investment advice, or any form of signal to buy or sell. Okay, I'm not here to show you guys what to buy, what to sell. I am purely here to show you guys that a different perspective of trading. Okay, so please do not take it as a signal to buy or sell. Please take this purely as educational and seeing it from a different trader's point of view. Okay, so another risk warning: trading Forex and CFDs carries significant risks and may not be suitable for all investors. Okay, you may lose more than you intend to. Please be cautious with your funds. Okay, so I'm gonna have to stay here for a minute or two so you guys have time to read through the disclaimer. In the meantime, I'm going to make sure everything's working fine on my side. Sorry, I didn't realize my mic was off. So yeah, I was saying let's continue with introducing your host, which is me. So my name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Cass. I am an investment analyst at Everest Fortune Group. We are a research firm based in Singapore. We specialize in forecasting, backtesting, research, and basically just understanding and studying the markets so that we know where the markets are moving. And also, I am a prop trader. So what that means is I am funded by multiple companies to trade their funds. How did I get this funding? I basically had to pass their test. Their test usually requires you to do 10% profit within the month. I have successfully done that multiple times already. Okay, yeah. So our agenda for today is the key approaches, cheat sheet, checklist, and then we'll head to the live charts and then we can apply whatever I'm showing you guys in the cheat sheet. So the whole gist And the whole point of my style of analysis, can I just remind you guys that my style of analysis may not be the same style for all traders. Okay, it is not the same style of trading for all traders. Okay, I'm purely showing you guys my style of how I would do it. This is not the same style all traders would do. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet that I usually use. So I've got a pen here. Let me go through the important parts. This 3 is the most important part of my entire analysis. Okay, so this 3 will help me have a rough understanding of where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do with my trading. It's very, very crucial. Okay, this 3 is very, very crucial in my entire trading. Okay, why is it so important? Because by using this 3 to begin with, I will have a rough idea if I'm going in for a buy or a sell. I have a rough idea if price is going up or down. I will have a rough idea if where my entry is, my stop loss, and where my take profit. So my first aim is to look for trend. Either if price is going up or price is going down. Okay, either one of it. So if price is going up, then I am going to get in on a buy, right? If price is going down, then I am going to go in for a sell. It's literally that simple. Why does direction matter so much? Because I need to use direction to follow trend, because I am a trend trader. So you know, you want to be following the waves, not going against it. So that's my style of trading. Again, not everyone trades like this, but this is how I would trade. Okay, so we've got a trend line that I would use to identify where price is going, whether it's an uptrend or downtrend. For this, I would need minimally 3 touches. Okay, 3 touches minimally. Any kind of channel, so 4 touches on the channel, 2 on the top and 2 at the bottom. Okay, so 2 at the resistance area and 2 at the support area. Then once I'm done identifying trend by using a trend line or a channel, I will now have a rough idea where price is going, and I now can pull out my, where's my pen? My horizontal levels. So when I say horizontal levels, I mean pullbacks, overlaps, significant swing highs and significant swing lows. Okay, and once I am done with that, I then combine it with Fibonacci levels. Fibonacci levels will help me make even accurate analysis, bringing my analysis to very high probability, so the chances of losing will be lower. Okay, so once I have this 3, I will have a rough idea of where my entry is going to be, where my stop loss is going to be, and where my take profit is going to be. There's only 3 elements that you need when doing an analysis, which is your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit. Without your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit, you don't know where to get in. You don't know where to exit if you are correct, and you don't know where to get out if you are wrong. Okay, so it's super duper important that you have an entry at all times, you have a stop loss at all times in case you are wrong, and you have a take profit at all times in case you are right and you need to know where to get out. Okay, so once that is done, I have a rough idea of where I'm going. Now what I'm going to do is to combine chart patterns. Okay, if I see any. Obviously, the chart patterns are not going to be there every single time. I cannot force the chart to give me chart patterns, right? So what kind of chart patterns am I looking for? Either an example would be wedges, triangles, double tops, double bottoms. These are examples of chart patterns. Okay, other examples will be head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, triple top, triple bottom, teacup, or whatever it is. As long as it is a chart pattern that will help my analysis become more probable or higher probability, then I will take that into consideration. Okay, so then after we are done, I will then pull out 2 moving averages. Okay, so either the 200, not either, the 200 and the 50 moving average, and this will help me find the death or golden cross. It's very easy to use the moving average. This is basically to help you see where trend is moving. It is just a supporting indicator. It is not there to help you make your decision. Obviously, price action is always king and superior on the charts. So death and golden crosses, we've got if the 50 is moving above the 200, right? If the 50 moving average is moving above the 200, that means price is suggesting, the moving average is suggesting that price is on the uptrend. If the moving average is moving below the 200, it is suggesting that price is on a downtrend. Okay, so then if you want, you can also use a natural moving average. How do you use a natural moving average? You pull out the settings and you need to adjust the settings based on the movement of the charts. So every chart will be a different setting, and every single time, every time frame will be a different setting. So it follows the flow of the charts. I don't really use this very often. I use more of the death and golden crosses. Okay, so next we've got stochastics and RSI. So for stochastics and RSI, what I'm looking for is basically the bounces and reactions, okay, and divergences. So when I say bounces and reactions, I basically mean support and resistance and divergences. Okay, divergences means that if price is moving on an uptrend and the oscillator or the indicator is showing that we're moving on a downtrend, it means that the oscillator is giving us a signal that there is a possibility of a trend reversal. Okay, so once I'm done with my main analysis, which is to find my entry, stop loss, take profit, and then some indicators to help make my analysis more probable, I then see if there are any forms of correlations. Okay, correlations. So there are three kinds of correlations that I would use in my style of trading. So the first one is any strongly correlated currency pairs that are supporting your bias. Okay, so I'll give you an example. This is an example I use all the time. So EUR USD, for example. Okay, you do an analysis on EUR USD. You realize that the EUR is going up and the USD is going down. That also means that the DXY should also be going down. Why the DXY? Because DXY is the US dollar index, okay, chart. It is the US dollar index chart. So once you do your analysis on EUR USD, and if it shows that you want to buy an EUR USD, ideally on the DXY, it should be going down in price as well. And that is your correlation, where you use different things to help make your analysis makes more sense. Okay, so once that is done, we've got any strongly correlated asset class supporting or against your bias. Okay, any strongly correlated asset class. So an example will be the Canadian dollars and oil. Why Canadian dollars and oil? Because Canada, the country Canada, is a very big producer of oil. Therefore, the prices of oil usually, not all the time, but usually follows the prices of the Canadian dollar usually follow the prices of oil. Therefore, if price is going up, oil prices going up, you can expect the Canadian dollars to go up in price as well. If oil prices is going down, you can expect the Canadian dollars to go down as well. So then the next would be correlation for crosses for any major pairs. So for an example will be the Australian dollars and the New Zealand dollars. Usually the Australian dollars and the New Zealand dollars will move in the exact direction. The Australian dollars will usually be the one that moves first, and then New Zealand dollars follow. So if Australian dollars is moving up, New Zealand dollars will also move up. If it's moving down, usually New Zealand dollars will also move down. Obviously, it's not 100% of the time, but most of the time that's how it works. Why? Because they are correlated in that way. Both countries are correlated in that way, but personal and local politics or whatnot will also affect it. Okay, so current affairs in their own individual countries will also affect their own currency. So that's why I say not all the time, but most of the time. Okay, so once that is done, I will then already know if I'm going for a reversal or a breakout, and tada, that's the end of the analysis. I'm gonna show you guys how to apply this entire cheat sheet into your analysis, into looking for a setup. Give me a moment. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to apply all of this into the entire analysis. Okay, so thank you guys for sitting through the introduction. Let me just pull out trading view so that we can start today's live analysis session. Okay, first things first, you guys already know what I like to do every week. For those who are here every week, I like to review sorry, let me just put the cheat sheet where it is so that we can reference. I like to review what went wrong and what went right. What went right the last week. Okay, so I think we did analysis on XAU USD the last time, right? Last week when I told you guys it was XAU USD. I think there was ETH USD as well. What do you guys think? Let's see. Oh, okay. ETH USD was wrong. That's okay. XAU USD looks like it was correct. ETH USD was wrong. Let's see. Did we do EUR USD? These are the usual that I do on a weekly basis. No. Did I do AUD USD? Okay, yes, it was AUD USD. The entry was calling for a buy, basically. And then I'm gonna pull out EUR USD and DXY as well. So I'm gonna do a review of all of this, but basically I'm only gonna stick with 3. Okay, can you guys give me like a minute? I will be back. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I just had eye surgery, so I just need to make sure my eyes are lubricated because I'm staring at the screen a lot. So just give me a minute to just get my eye drops and I'll be back. I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I just had eye surgery like a few days ago. I apparently have to keep my eyes very lubricated for the next 1 month or the next few months. I'm gonna have to take breaks every 30 minutes. Okay, where were we? Let me get rid of this. Hold on. Okay, so let's start with XAU USD. So I took you guys last week on Wednesday, right? I told you guys last Wednesday. I remember so clearly it was last Wednesday. So was it last Monday? I think it was. Let me just check. Oh, I told you guys last Monday, actually. Yeah, I told you guys last Monday. Okay, so last Monday, when price was here, yeah, when price was here, I said the entry would be here, stop loss would be here, and take profit would be here. Okay, so you can see how everything looks like it was working well, but price hit the stop loss. So this really long wick here hit the stop loss, and that's okay. I personally didn't get into this trade. I hope nobody got into this trade, because like, do not copy my trades. We are just here on an educational purpose. Okay, only here on an educational purpose. You are not supposed to be copying my trades anyways. Okay, so yeah, so when price was here, I did an analysis and I saw that the entry was going to be, why would I put the entry here though? That's so weird. I actually don't think I put the end. Okay, never mind. I mean, obviously I didn't move this. So yeah, anyways, the entry was here, the stop loss was here, and the take profit. So you can see that everything worked out well. The only problem was the stop loss was a little too tight and price wicked. Okay, price wicked and hit the stop loss prematurely. Okay, so I need to see what went well. So the first thing that went well here was obviously the direction. Price was going in the correct direction. I still think gold is going up. Okay, I still think gold was going up. I still think gold is going up. So let's redo this where we find direction wise, we work on the entry. So entry could have been better for this case. Entry could have been better. Let's try to find a better entry the next round. Okay, ETH USD. So my analysis was for ETH USD was a sell. I actually believed ETH was going to be a sell, like really strongly. That wasn't just an analysis, that was also my own view, that I thought it was going to be a sell, but I mean, obviously it hit the stop loss. Okay, why did I think it was a sell? First of all, we can see that gold is going up in price. You guys know when I say correlations, right? So when we look at this cheat sheet and we say correlation, 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 that means you're basically using one chart to correlate with a different chart, right? So the reason why I thought ETH was going down, because first of all, if we look at the weekly, it looks like there was a bit more downwards movement. Price can go down. Yes, obviously on the weekly, price is going up, but it's just that I thought it had a bit more room to come back down before going up. So that was my first reason for thinking it's a sell. Secondly, because gold is going up in price. So if gold is going up in price, usually cryptocurrency, obviously not every single time, but usually cryptocurrency will go the opposite direction because they are inversely correlated. They are related, but inversely. So they go the other direction. Okay, to give you guys an example, let me just put ETH USD. Obviously, it's not 100% of the time, but there is going to be a lot of times where it's the other direction. Okay, so you guys can see if gold is moving in a nice uptrend, Ethereum is moving in a nice downtrend. Okay, so they are usually inversely correlated. Okay, usually inversely correlated. So that was my reason for thinking that Ethereum was going to be a sell, and obviously because price is moving on a downtrend. So that was wrong. That's okay. It's okay that it's wrong because I'm only making my decision based on whatever information I see. I'm not making my decision based on guesses. I'm making my decision based on real life analysis, and if I'm still wrong, that means that's okay. That means my analysis was wrong and I just need to improve in my analysis making. Okay, so then we've got Australian dollars. Yeah, Australian dollars, I don't really see a signal. I think this was okay. If price breaks out at the yellow box, we'll go higher to the green zone. If reversal pattern forms, we'll pull back to the blue zone. Let's see. It broke out. Okay, so can you guys see? It broke out here. It just broke out actually. We're so lucky we just caught the break. It just broke out. That means we can expect the Australian dollars to continue up to the green zone. Okay, so obviously this is something we have to review again next week, but as of now, I'm going to stick with the same analysis, which is a buy. With bias is the buy at the breakout. So price just broke out. What I would consider doing is I mean, I know a lot of people who plays breakout, you can straight away get in here. That doesn't make sense to me. For me, the breakout usually comes with a pullback. So I would want to wait for the pullback before getting in. Okay, I would want to wait for the pullback before getting in on AUD USD. Okay, so that's that. Let's move on. Okay, so today I am going to do 3 analysis. The first is XAUUSD, which is gold, which is one commodity pair. ETHUSD, which is one cryptocurrency pair, and then we've got one forex pair, which is EURUSD, my favorite, and then I'm going to pull out DXY to do correlations to EURUSD, and the correlations to Ethereum is going to be gold, okay, because like I said, gold is considered a safe haven asset and Ethereum is considered a risky asset. Therefore, if gold is moving up in price, usually, not every single time, but usually cryptocurrency will move in the opposite direction. Okay, so let's start with gold. I'm gonna do 3 charts and I've got 10 minutes on each chart. If at any point of time you guys have a chart you want me to look at and any form of analysis, just let me know in the chat box, but I will be doing these 3. So let's start with gold. I do think gold is going up in price. I still think gold is going up in price. Weekly, it's very clear it's an uptrend. Right, it's very clear it's an uptrend. Daily. Okay, daily we want to take note that there is going to be a swing high here. Okay, that means the take profit will most likely be this green line here. Okay, so let's go down to the even smaller time frame to see if we can look for an entry. Okay, so price is constantly moving in a zigzag pattern. Okay, let me remind you guys, price is constantly moving in a zigzag pattern. So now that it's doing this, I expect the price to come back down before continuing up again. Come back down, continue up, come back down. It doesn't move. You see, price is constantly moving in a zigzag. Right? It is constantly moving in a zigzag pattern. If that's not obvious enough, let me, yeah, see? It's constantly, it's never moving in one straight line. There's always going to be pullback. So even though price is moving up, we expect to see some kind of pullback like this before it goes up. So let's identify the pullback so that that's going to be my possible entry. Okay. So how do I identify pullbacks? We've already identified trend, by the way, right? To identify trend, either a channel or a trend line. So this is, it's very obvious price is going up. I know it looks like I cut through a lot of the price action, but price is never perfect. It's never, analysis is never perfect. Okay, so this is as good as I can get it, as clean as I can get it, I would say. So we've done that already. Now let's pull out the second thing, which is the horizontal levels. Okay, horizontal levels. So you're gonna go to this area here. There you go. So under this cross, there's gonna be this trend line signal. Click on it and you pick horizontal raise, and you look for the last pullback, overlap, significant swing high and swing low. Okay, so I see one here where there's an overlap. Okay, overlap meaning that this was once a support and now it has turned into, this was once a resistance and now price broke and now it has turned into a support. Okay, so there's an overlap there. Do we see anything else? Do you see any pullbacks, significant swing highs or swing lows? The significant swing high I see is here. Overlap and pullback is here. What else? I guess there's one here. That's the overlap. Sorry, this is overlap. Not the best, I guess, because price isn't really respecting it. Okay. I think my best guess will be here, the cleanest will be here, this level here, 439.5, 439, 400. That's the cleanest horizontal level I can see at this current point of time. So what I am ideally looking at is, I don't know how much more price is going to move up. It could move up a bit more. It's definitely not going to do this, or it could do that if it wants to, but like I said, price is constantly moving in a zigzag pattern, so it's expected for it to pull back a little bit before it continues up. I'm hoping it does this first, and then from here then it can do whatever it wants, but the end result will be this swing high. That's the end result, that swing high there. So I hope price pulls back here. Because I don't know if price has completed its move, I'm just gonna assume, and I'm just gonna use the latest information that I have, which is this swing high here. I'm gonna use this swing high to draw out Fibonacci levels. So what are Fibonacci levels? These are levels that help you predict or forecast where price is going to pull back to. Assuming this is the swing high, assuming price has completed and this is the swing high, I'm gonna change everything to maybe a different, like a red. There are 5 levels we look at, which is 23.6, 38.2, 50%, 61.8, and 78.6. These are the 5 levels that we usually look at. So you can see, right? Can you guys see how the 38.2 is lining up exactly where that overlap is? Can you guys see that? Sorry guys. Water break. I'm talking a bit too much. We like to see that. So what are we essentially looking for is horizontal levels and fib levels lining up in the exact same area. Why do we want things to line up in the exact same area? So that there is confluence. Confluence meaning that there is many signs pointing to the same thing. So right now we've got 38.2 lining up here. We've got an overlap here. This 23.6, there's nothing much that is lining up there unless you want to count this part here. I would say, if I have to count this part here, it's not even that strong. If I move it anywhere in that candle, it doesn't line up exactly in that area. It's close, but it's not exactly there. So I don't want to consider that one too much. 50%, there's nothing lining up there. 61.8%, I guess there's something lining up here, which is all this zones here, but it's not very clean, not very nice. So I'm gonna stick with the 38.2 because the 38.2 is the cleanest at this current point of time. But that's the thing about gold. If you guys have been trading gold as much as I have, you know that the cleaner it looks, the more suspicious it is. Gold usually isn't that straightforward. But anyways, at this current point of time, this is the cleanest that I can see, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to look for more things. I'm using a Fibonacci projection right now. Can you see how there's a 78.6 lining up exactly where price is? So for Fibonacci projection, we use 3 levels: 78.6, 100, and 127.2. So the 100 and the 127.2 doesn't really align with anything. The 78.6 is aligning exactly where that 38.2 is, exactly where the overlap is. So far, I mean, honestly, so far so good. It is showing what we expect it to show. So if price were to pull back, I think there's a good chance it will pull back to here. This red zone. That means this is where I'm going to consider getting it. Okay, now that I'm done with that, let's see what else on the list. Any chart patterns, death and golden cross. Do you guys see any chart patterns? I don't see any chart patterns at all. I guess there's a double bottom here, triple bottom if even, right? There's a 1, 2, 3, triple bottom here. Yeah, so there's kind of like a triple bottom going on there, but obviously it was not, it was a short-term downtrend. It was a pullback and then a triple bottom, so I guess um, the triple bottom is agreeing with our analysis. So then any death or golden cross, let me pull out the death or golden cross, moving average 50 and 200. So go into settings. 50 is the green and the 200 is the white. As long as the green is above the white, it means that we're on an uptrend. If the green is below the white, it means that we are on a downtrend. It is that simple. Okay, it is literally that simple. So far everything is showing that it's an uptrend. Everything is agreeing with our analysis. Okay, next, any natural moving average. I'm not going to use that because we've already got this. Stochastics and RSI, let's pull that one out. Stochastics and RSI. For stochastics, the settings that I like to use is 21, 5, and 3. Okay, yeah, so stochastics is showing that price has reached a resistance area and it's time to reverse. How am I seeing that? Okay, so you see when price reaches this top area here, it means that it has reached a resistance. So every time it reaches this top area, price seems to pull back a little bit. So you see here and here, price got here and it reversed a little bit, same as on the charts. It came here and reversed a little bit. It came here, it was close, it didn't really touch, but yeah, it's close to the resistance. And you can see price touching here and then reversing, same as on the charts. Now it's at the resistance again, okay, which is here. You can expect some kind of pullback. So if the pullback's like this, like this, like this, I don't know, but it's time for a pullback. Hopefully the pullback is just strong enough to bring us back to the entry, to this red box. Okay, so let me see what RSI is saying. Nothing much for RSI. What I'm really looking for is either price is at the support or resistance area or price is showing a divergence. Okay, but I don't see a divergence. If anyone sees a divergence, let me know in the chat box. I personally don't see a divergence. I see price at a resistance on the stochastics. On the RSI, not really showing me anything. So far, so good. Okay, so far, so good. Okay, so done. Now we look for correlations. So correlations. So that means that if X gold is going up in price, we expect to see Ethereum going down in price. I mean, technically, if I'm being very technical, Ethereum is still going down in prices, okay? It is still going down. I wouldn't say it's moving up already. Why? Because what constitutes a downtrend? A downtrend constitutes lower highs, okay? That's what it's doing. It's doing lower highs, lower lows, okay? Lower lows. Here you can see that it failed to do a lower low, but it doesn't mean that price cannot turn back right now and continue doing the lower low. So I won't say the uptrend, the downtrend is invalidated already. I think price is trying to break this downtrend, but it has not successfully broke the downtrend yet. It has not successfully broke the downtrend yet. So we cannot even confirm that the downtrend is broken. So at this current point of time, I would say price is still I'm biased that price is still on a downtrend. It's just that my bias is not very strong. Okay, it's still a downtrend. It's just that it has not it needs to break this high first. It needs to break this high, and then I am convinced that we are in an uptrend. But at this current point of time, I think we're still in a downtrend. Okay, so I would say so far everything is good. Now choose a reversal or a breakout. I've already chosen, which is a reversal. Okay, so I'm waiting for price. I'm not playing a breakout for this. I'm waiting for price to pull back and then reverse, and then from there, sorry, where's my arrow? From there it moves back up. Okay, I'm hoping price pulls back here and then moves back up. Okay, to be very conservative, the other area you can consider is here. Okay, so this is going to be my entry. This is going to be my stop loss. My stop loss, I'm just giving, like, I don't have a specific formula or format to look for my stop loss, but as long as it's below this red box and it's a comfortable space, like I would say like this, okay, like this, that's okay. Okay, obviously don't make your stop loss too tight, don't make it too much breathing room where the risk to reward doesn't make sense. Okay, so what am I doing right now? I'm going to calculate the risk to reward. If we put it here, it's a 1 to 2.5, okay, which honestly is not too bad. 1 to 2.5, not too bad. 1 to 2.46 technically, or 1 to 2.475, okay, depending on where you put your stop loss. I think this is a good risk to reward. So what do I mean by risk to reward? It means that if you have $100,000 account, okay, you have $100,000 account. If you risk 1%, you're risking $1,000, okay? But if you win, so if you lose, you lose $1,000. If you lose, you lose $1,000. But if you win, you get 2.5%, because this is what it is. Risk to reward ratio 2.5, which equals to 2.5K. Or if you go for the further take profit and it works out, it is a plus 4.65% equals 4.65 thousand. Okay, so this is a good risk to reward provided it plays out. If that, I mean, I cannot force it to play out, right? So yeah. Okay, so that's my analysis on gold. I've got a request here for Nasdaq and S. Okay, let's see. I think for Nasdaq it's US 100. I want the charts to be same as IC markets, right? So do you guys know what the symbol is for IC markets? I need the symbol for IC markets. US 100? Nope. NAS 100? Nope. Okay, I would want to keep this on. No, anyone? Anyone know what it is? Something 100? I'm looking for IC markets because I need it to be as accurate as possible to you. Okay, there. Wait, I saw IC markets. Where did it go? There. Okay, US Tech 100. Okay, let's do. Okay, so the reason why I don't like to do analysis on index because I feel index is very fundamental heavy. Okay, so I'm just going to do my usual, which is to highlight levels, but I'm not really going to give my analysis on this. Okay, because again, it's very like fundamental heavy, so you do need to combine it with fundamental analysis. It's totally different from like forex or like cryptocurrency. Yes, fundamental analysis will affect it in one way or another, but not as heavy as US 100. Okay, not as heavy as US 500, not as heavy as US 100. Okay, so let's see where price is going. It's been going up forever. I always say if you don't know how to trade, you don't know what to do, just put your money in an index because index always just goes up in price. It is the same as gold. Okay? Index and gold is the same. It just keeps going up. Okay? Index and gold is the same. It will just keep going up. You don't know where to put your money. Put it in index, put it in gold. Okay? So yeah, it's just going up sometimes because I said price is always moving in a zigzag pattern, right? It is always moving in a zigzag pattern. So it moves up, it pulls down, then it continues up, it pulls down, it continues up. But it's always, always, always going to go up. Okay, it's always, always going to go up. So you don't know what to do, put your money in index. Okay, so let me just highlight some levels. Price is reaching a resistance here. Yep. I think it's time for a pullback, honestly. It's been going up for a while. I think it's time for a little pullback here. Okay, or was this already the pullback? I don't know. Let's see. Let me see if I'm just again just gonna highlight some levels. Not really gonna give my analysis on this. Markets are confused. Price is moving in a triangle. Okay, the markets are pretty confused right now. It's gonna break out soon, but then you'll know when it breaks out which direction it's going to go. If I have to give a guess, honestly, I think it's going to pull back. Okay. I actually think it's going to pull back, but we shall see because you can see that it's losing momentum here. You can see that price is losing momentum here. So if it wanted to go up, it would have gone up, but yeah, it's moving momentum. So I'm not really, again, gonna give too much for Nasdaq because like I said, it's very news heavy, but this is basically what I see. The price is moving in a triangle. There's uncertainty right now, and you might want to wait until the breakout happens. Okay, so that's all I have for Nasdaq. I don't want to get into much of this because then I think we should combine it with news and not just technical analysis. Okay, let me go on to the next thing, which is Ethereum. Do you guys want me to do Ethereum or URUSD? I'm okay with either, to be honest. Okay, let me just do. I've got like a good 8 minutes left with you guys, and I'm gonna have to start my next webinar which is in Bahasa. Okay, you know what? Let me do. Ethereum because there's also a chart that I'm planning to get in on Ethereum actually. Yeah, I think Ethereum's just doing a pullback. I still think there's more room because like I said, price can't just drop down, right? Like that. It always has to do a zigzag pattern. So it's probably just doing a zigzag and then it's gonna continue down. But the question is it done doing the zigzag? I still think Ethereum is down. I know on the long term it is up. I just think that there's a little bit of room left for it to go down. And furthermore, gold is going up in price. So I'm still biased that Ethereum is going down. Okay. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Let me just highlight some levels. Furthermore, we can see that it is moving on a downtrend, right? We can all see it. So I'm just gonna highlight some levels, and that's going to be my possible entry, my possible stop loss, possible take profit, but we shall see. We shall see. Okay. Actually, it's at a very, very strong, it's at a resistance right now. Ethereum is at a resistance right now. I would say it's a strong one too. Why would I say this is a strong one? You can see price coming here one time, two times, three times, four times, five times. There's always some kind of reaction every time it gets to this red box. Okay, so there's a good chance Ethereum might just reverse right now for a sell. Okay, there is a good chance Ethereum might just reverse right now for a sell. Yeah, nope. It's not lining up in that area. What I wanted to see was the Fibonacci levels lining up where price is, but it's not lining up, so I cannot force price to line up. What I'm seeing is the entry was supposed to be here, but you can see price already cut through. The entry is supposed to be here at 3.2-ish, but price is already above it. Okay, price is already above it. Okay, so I'm gonna give a very rough analysis on this. Okay, I still think there's a chance that Ethereum is still a sell. Okay, obviously what I'm seeing right now is the entries here. Okay, this is where the entry price already cut through it. What I think is happening is price just testing a little bit higher before going down. So I think the sell is somewhere within this red box. More, it's what I'm seeing, the Fibonacci levels are showing me here. Okay, but it can be anywhere in this red box. So I'm just gonna put it here where the highest point is of the red box. Stop loss and take profit back to maybe here. Okay, back to this overlap here where price came here one time, two times, three times. Okay, price came here multiple times, so I'm hoping price goes back there again one more time. Okay, so let me just put this to a take profit. Let me just pull out some things. Okay, the green just crossed the white, which means that it's an uptrend, but we cannot follow this too much because you can see how price isn't respecting the moving average. It's kind of going sideways if anything. Okay, so moving average will not be accurate for this analysis. RSI. Yeah, this is going to be a low probability setup. So far, things are not lining up well. This is going to be a low probability setup. What else can I pull out? Ichimoku is not going to work. Yeah, Ichimoku's not gonna work. Okay, this is gonna be a low probability setup. Nothing is aligning. It's not like gold. We saw how gold. Okay, so this is what I have. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I cannot force the charts to do what I want it to do. But gold, I think this is an okay probability. I think this is an okay setup. I'm actually happy with this setup, to be honest. It's just that hopefully it pulls back. If price really pulls back here, I think there's a good chance it might just reverse and then continue going up, provided it has to pull back to this entry. Um, Ethereum is a low probability setup. I mean, I hope it works out because I want to get into an Ethereum. I'm waiting for Ethereum to drop in price so I can get in on Ethereum for a buy, but I cannot force Ethereum to do what I want it to do. Okay, so yeah, this is a cheat sheet in case anyone wants to keep this. Can I stay here for a minute? Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. I will see you guys in a week. So immediately after this, I am going to start my next webinar, which is in Bahasa. So I'm gonna continue with my life. It's just that it will be in a different language. Okay? I'm immediately going to start the next webinar with IC markets, but in Bahasa. So I will see those who can speak Bahasa in like about 1 to 2 minutes. But for the rest of you who are here for the English, I will see you guys next week. It will be next Wednesday. This week I had to do it today, which is Tuesday, because I will be on the plane tomorrow. So I won't be able to do the webinar for you guys on the plane because I don't know how stable the internet will be. Okay, so I'll see you guys next week, 3:30 p.m. Singapore time. Okay, bye everyone. Take care. See you guys.